Hey guys, my name is Seth. This is the OpTic ToPic. This is going to be March 11th. We're not doing a live show this week, as you may have noticed. We're going to be doing one next week. Jordan is now currently in England, visiting family or doing something like that, maybe on holiday. So we're going to do one next week. But next week, the Dallas-Fort Worth event for the COD team is happening, so we'll be able to talk about that. Hopefully they win. It's the first time we'll be able to see them doing playing with Dashy on land. We didn't get to see Dashy on land in the Pro League. We will, yes, we're the first win for that team in a while. The Outlaws next week will finish their stage 1. They may or may not make the playoffs. The LCS they're in great standing right now to make the playoffs. They have 2 weeks left, so they have 1 week left to make the playoffs after this next week. And so they'll be in good position, hopefully, for that. So we have a lot to talk about, plus anything else that comes up. The CSGO has an event going on now. I'll touch on that a little bit now, but honestly, I don't want to talk about that too much. I'll explain why in a little bit. But that's what we're going to be talking about next week live. We'll be going live right after the Dallas-Fort Worth event. So if you want to come in and talk about anything you want to talk about, whether you're upset on how we lost, hopefully we don't, hopefully we win, how happy you are, if you want to call into the show, and all the links will be in the description. Just go down there, you go to the Discord, leave comments, and next week we'll talk about them. Or if you want to come in live and talk about it in the channel, there's a description on there, you'll see it. Anyway, getting into this show, we'll start off with the CSGO team. I really don't want to stay on board with this too much. If you want to skip this, I won't blame you. Skip ahead a minute or two. Basically, they're in a low-tier event. They lost to a team called Valiance. I don't know who they are, really. They beat Denial and NASR Esports. They shouldn't have lost to Valiance. There's only a couple notable teams, a bunch of teams. There's like 5 or 6 teams that just didn't show up. And that's how low-tier event it is. One group, there's only 2 teams. The main Brazil beat AGO, and they both qualified just first and second seed. So it's a terrible event. Even if we were to place like top 3, I wouldn't take anything from this team because we're not sure if they're sticking around. Apparently they're going to break up. Apparently DK said that they're not breaking up. But, you know, like they were going to carry in. Now they're not getting carry in. They were going to break up. Now they're not breaking up. I don't know what's going to happen. Everyone's really frustrated with this team. You know, they're like, okay, let's get an EU roster. We could have gotten a Strauss a while ago. Anyway, no one else did. I know, like, we probably weren't going to get it. That's just me. I don't want any like hate comments being like, oh, we should have gotten a Strauss. That's just some banter. Just because like we could have gotten them, we could have gotten a 5th and kept the NA roster. Anyway, pretty much, we have this EU team. We go to EU. We don't hear much from them. We had a series going on, but they stopped that. They said they're going to keep that going, so I feel a little bit disconnected from them. I live in NA, and we have a bunch of NA teams, so maybe that's why. Maybe I've just been spoiled to all you EU fans and whatnot. But they also, like, they couldn't make it out of the Mountain Dew League, and like it's just become a joke. They, on paper, they should be at least top 15 team, fighting between 15 and 8, I feel like, but I'm not sure where they are now. I know a couple weeks ago they still were in the top 30, so I don't know what to take from this team. I don't want to stay on board with them too much. Again, even if they do well in this event, I take nothing from it. Something needs to happen. Can't blame the staff as far as like getting talent. This team's talent should be way better, doing way better than they are. Maybe coaching. I don't know how the coaches are doing. Anyway, move on to the LCS. Okay, so the LCS is 6 and 8. They're currently sitting at 5th, tied for 5th/6th place, which means they'll make it into the the spring split. They have 4 matches left. Now, here is a good thing. CLG and Counterlogic Gaming are 1 game behind us. We're 6 and 8. They're 5 and 9. We 2-0'd Clutch. We play CLG next week. So, I'm pretty sure I'm correct on this. If we go 3 or 4 out of the next 4 games, and one of those wins is against CLG, we win. We play C9, we'll probably lose that one. If we could beat CLG, lose C9, and win the next 2, I think we play like 100 Thieves, another team. I'll go over that in a minute. I think we qualify. So that means even if we win 2 matches, one of them is CLG, I think we still have a good chance depending on how the other matches go, because even if we go 3 and 4, 100 Thieves and Echofox can't catch up. Chances of them going 4-0 are very, very slim. We're in a good position. Where we are as a team, well, first of all, we don't have as much to look at. Right, the first couple weeks, Era wasn't here. We didn't get to see how they were. Most teams, I'm pretty sure, were practicing with their team in person before the league started. We didn't get that until the league had already started. The Academy roster plus plus Crown was doing well, but that was only 2 weeks. Can't take too much from that. Losing streak, I think it was 4 games for the actual roster. Where are they now? I don't know. You know, beforehand when they were losing, they were like the best first 15-minute game in the league. You know, they started winning. I think the first one was against 100 team. They sucked the first team for 15 minutes, but brought it back. I don't know how they are as a team. They've definitely been improving. Although I think it was like the week beforehand where they lost in like 26 minutes or something like that, which was kind of scary. But, you know, even this week, TSM, we were pretty much playing behind the entire time, but very close. And TSM is a very good team. I mean, I think they're better than the 9-5 record, to be honest. We almost beat them the first time we played them. We had a huge lead against them and blew it. That's how we've been for a good majority of this split. Where we are as a team, I think, is right where our standing says. You know, I think if we play Team Liquid, Cloud9, we should lose that. There's a small chance we win. Much bigger chance than like Echo Fox. You know, I think if a team like TSM played them, they have a better chance than us, but they should also lose. You know, if we're playing against FlyQuest or Golden Guardians, maybe we should lose them. Maybe Golden Guardians were the same out now, but maybe we should lose them, but have a very, very good chance of winning. Whereas at Clutch and Counter Gaming, we should beat them, but there's a good chance that they might beat us, but that's a game we should win. And then like Echo Fox is pretty much us and Team Liquid and C9, where we're beating them unless we do something wrong. Although we've split with Echo Fox, and I said FlyQuest was above us. They only won game, I think. I don't know what to take from the team, but I think we're right where the standing says. The next 2 weeks, though, I mean, we could catapult from 6 wins up to 10. You know, or we can sit at 6 wins and then have 12 losses. So it could go either way. I think where we are is where the team actually is. I think summer split, that's where I'm looking at. We'll have much more time to practice. Maybe we get things sorted out with our top lane because, man, Dokla, man, like, he was a hero for me in like 2 games last season. I'm not a pro player, but there might be stuff going on with other people not getting vision, not calling out where people are, communication issues. We saw with Crown. I think Medios was talking about that. But I feel like Dokla, dude, not playing up. He's getting picked off a lot of times where he doesn't have to. He's getting ganked. I'm not sure. Maybe that's not his fault, but something's going on there that has to be addressed. Because of that, I think we're right where we should be. Again, not going too much into it. I'm trying to keep this kind of a bit of a shorter episode. We'll have a much longer live episode next week, live right after the Dallas Fort Worth event. So we're gonna hop into the Overwatch League, and theirs ends next week, their first stage. So I'm gonna go a little bit more into this. They're currently tied for 11th with the London Spitfire, but they are 3-3. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams that are 3-3. One team that's 4-3. All these teams have to play one more. There's 7 games. One team 4-3. Shock are done. Atlanta has to play 2 more. They're 3-2, so they could be 4-3 or 3-4. But yeah, so we're in a huge group of mess. Even the Fusion, they're 4-2. They can, and the Dallas Fuel, they can lose, and we can all be tied for 4-2. So from 4 to 11th/12th, because we're tied with London. Anyone can make it, and anyone cannot make it. So it needs. I'm going to show you this actually. Let me see if I can show you this. Second. I wasn't planning on doing this. Okay, so move this. No, you guys can see this. So this is the last team. This is the first team for the stage. This is overall, but it's going to be the same for the first stage because it's the first stage of the season. So New York and Titans have clinched it. Vancouver could technically take the first spot. So this X means the team can no longer make it, and the arrow means that the team has made it. So what this page does, if you guys want to go on this yourself, it's OWPlayoffMachine, all one word, .com. OW for Overwatch. So what you can do is you can predict what you think will happen. So if we don't make the playoffs, we probably need to beat Atlanta Reign. It might be a close match, so let's say it's 3-2. So now we're right there. You know what I mean? Let's say the Titans should win, meaning that the Charge won't do that well, so they might not be in the playoff hunt. The Paris Eternal will play twice, but let's say the Philly do well and win like 3-1. They win that. Both of them suck, so like 2-1. Yeah, now Eternal are out of it. That makes us look a little bit better. Let's say Dallas wins this. You know, this doesn't matter. So now we're right on the cusp here. If Seoul wins this 4-0, then we make the last spot and Reign doesn't make it. Oh, and if Reign wins this though. I mean, so there's a lot of different things. You can play around with this. There's a million possibilities where we do make it and a million where we don't. What I want to show you guys though is if you come over here, we lost against the Defiant, whereas against Boston. I know the Defiant, I'm pretty sure, went to last round of control. I'm not sure if Boston did. But if Boston did too, that means 2 team fights were 2 different games. Imagine if these 2 went 3-2 in our favor instead. We're sitting at number 3 in the league. Clinched the playoffs already. Right behind Titans Excelsior. Now clearly we won't be as good because we were only +3, but that just shows how good these 2 teams are because look at the shock. Right? They would be 3rd. But they're +5. That's better than most teams, but nowhere near them. You know, Philly +3, nowhere near them. That's just with us having 2 team fights go differently, and we're 5-1, which is great. Unfortunately, it's not, so we have to live in reality world. But I mean, I don't think we deserve to be the number 3 team, but just the chances that a little bit differently, and we could have been number 3. We could have made the playoffs. If we made it to the stage of the playoffs this year, and if we can make it 2 times in a row, I'd be so happy. Basically, you go through all these. I was playing around with it for almost like an hour earlier. There's a million possibilities. I mean, we need to be the Reign. I think we technically can make it if we lose the Reign. Can we? No, we can't. So we need to beat them, even 3-2. Right? Ideally, you'd want to win as best map differential as possible. That might come to haunt us. If we win, we do our part, and we just have to hope that the other teams do well. There's a million possibilities, but where we are as a team, there's only 7 games this stage, right? I don't know where to place us. Again, we could be 3rd, right? But we beat the Valiant, but we didn't look good against the Valiant. Maybe we are like 17th, like people are saying. I need more time. The meta is going to change. We'll see how we play. I mean, we have like Linkser sitting on the bench for all these games, which sucks because he's our star player. So I mean, if we could get him in, and if we get him and Dante, and maybe if Jake on Junkrat is in the meta, you know, then we're looking scary as hell. And then we have Muma on main tank. Like, we could look really good. I don't know where we are next. Like right now, again, we could jump between like 3rd and like 11th. That's where we are. We need more time to determine where we actually are. Next stage, I'll be able to give you a more accurate depiction of where I think we are as a team. But I think we could be a playoff team. You know what I mean? People discredit us, and I understand why. But we're winning these games. So we could be 5-1. Even though they're ugly, we're pulling them out. You know, other teams, if it was NYXL that was close, they'd be like, oh, they have that clutch factor. Do we have that clutch factor? I mean, game 5 is a curse. But you never know. That's pretty much going to do it for this episode today. We'll bring it back here. We'll see how they do next week. This light right here is really annoying. If you guys are watching, or unless you guys are just listening, that's really annoying. My blinds are messed up. So yeah, that's going to do it for this week. Make sure you tune in next week live when we go over the Dallas-Fort Worth Overwatch League and LCS teams and their games. Tune in for that, and until next time, guys, I'll see you later.